it took a really long time for me to get back to a sense of normal.
Every painstaking moment of April 19th was etched into the brains of the hundreds of survivors and thousands of first responders who rushed to the scene.
I just couldn't process everything that was coming at me, and I literally had tunnel vision.
Leaders in the community knew if people were going to get through the dark days years in the future, they'd need a solution that could fix more than broken bones. So Project Heartland opened here at One Western Plaza on May 15th, 1995. It was the Department of Mental Health's first of its kind response to bring together as many mental health resources as possible, private or public, with some funding help from FEMA.
That was huge because when people are going through trauma, you know, they're not necessarily thinking about, okay, I need to find a counselor.
Survivors had access to therapy, support groups, and retreats like this one at Quartz Mountain that gave them the chance to just get away.
Being there, I knew I didn't have to explain myself, and I could talk about it if I wanted to. If I wanted to be quiet, I could.
And one of the ways this project helped survivors and their families cope was with art, like weaving this basket, or painting masks that represent their emotions. But for some, that art took other forms.
I call this running through darkness. Some summer evenings when our mothers were generous, we got to stay out well past sundown to play our special game.
Why choose creative writing?
I think of all the things that they offered, I thought, well, maybe that was one avenue that might be most helpful to me. And I like to write. But I guess I was tired of writing office memos, you know.
And when Dennis Purifoy got the chance to look back on what he wrote on that retreat, he wrote one more thing down.
Maybe it was a part of my healing, reclaiming the good in life. I'm sorry. Maybe the writing exercise was more than a memory. Maybe it was part of my healing, reclaiming the good in life, even sometimes the darkness.
But survivors weren't the only ones going through it. First responders you see here on scene for hours-long shifts saw some of the worst, and psychologist Kathy Thomas made them her mission.
This was their job, and you know, you just suck it up and you do it, and you don't talk about it, and you don't tell people that bothers you, or you don't let those emotions out. One of the things that I think came out of the bombing was the stigma started changing.
So much so that departments from all over who responded started sending first responders to workshops to process what they'd been through.
It was a 3-day retreat for anybody impacted by the bombing, survivors, first responders, family members that had lost loved ones.
And it was at those workshops that the experts realized how important a relationship between first responders and survivors would become.
When those families could see how much of their hearts those first responders were putting into this, and how personally they took it. And many times the family members would say, you know, I know my loved one wasn't alone because somebody was looking for them.
It's a model that was copied in other cities facing disaster, like Washington, D.C. after 9/11 and New Orleans after Hurricane Katrina.
And then came this afternoon when the levee breached, and it was basically everyone get out.
But the project didn't just help survivors and first responders recover. They gave doctors the first tools to bring to new tragedies and terror attacks that would happen around the country. Studies like these that looked into how long trauma stuck around went global, and therapists pioneered new techniques working with survivors that are part of the industry today, all part of a new approach to mental health born out of a first-of-its-kind tragedy.
That was the thing, the Oklahoma City bombing was kind of new for everybody. We really encourage people, talk about your story, share your story, and it is extremely helpful for other people to learn from that.
Dennis says getting rid of the stigma will take some more work.
It's great to have friends, it's great to have family, it's great to have faith, but sometimes you need a little bit of help.
He tells me now, even 30 years later, the world can look to OKC's example of turning darkness into light.